everyone. Great to see everyone today. So my job at OpenAI is pretty cool, and it kind of goes off of what the panel was talking about. I help companies go from hype to habit, move from pilot production to production, and we are definitely there at this stage. So I'm guessing there's not many people who haven't heard of OpenAI, but just in case, we are a research and deployment company, and our goal is to benefit all of humanity with AGI. Now, when Cam opened, he said, how many people think this is the fastest change you've ever seen in your lifetime? And I saw a few hands go up. I think you were just warming up. If you weren't looking at me, I had my hand raised the highest working at OpenAI. This is the fastest moving technology. Let's break it down a little bit. How many of you are using ChatGPT either in your everyday lives or in your work lives? All right, well, congratulations, you are one of 900 million weekly active users, a large amount of people. This is a technology that's moving 10 times faster than PCs grew to this stage, 5 times faster to the internet. One other way to look at that is it took the internet 7 years to get to 100 million users. It took Facebook 4 years, started moving a little bit faster to get to 100 million users. When ChatGPT launched in November of 2022, it took 2 months. And so that is why we're seeing this technology move so fast. Of course, model capabilities are getting better and the technology is moving faster, but we've made it more accessible to everyone. And that was also mentioned earlier. This is not just something now that is available for researchers and data scientists and developers. You can use it as an educator, as a marketer, as an executive. It is available to everyone. And so what I get most often asked when I go talk to customers is exactly this. How do we move from pilot to production? And we see it every day. I'm going to walk you through how you can think about it. But first, I always like to open with, at OpenAI, we are, of course, the biggest power users of OpenAI. And this is across every single part of the organization. Just to give you some examples, the people team uses it to write job descriptions and consolidate all of that candidate feedback so we know upfront who the best people are and who the leading candidates are for the really big roles that we have open. The finance one's really interesting because as a sales leader, there is always one major detractor when you're in a deal cycle, and that is the CFO. They want to know, if we're going to spend on this, what is the ROI? What is the value? And this is what I love about our finance org. They're the biggest power users of OpenAI. I, in that case, will say to the CFO, may my CFO, Sarah, come in and give you a demo of how she's transformed end-to-end the finance organization. Really powerful stuff. Then, of course, engineering across the SDLC is able to automate all kinds of steps. I'm going to give you a customer example around that here in a second. Marketing for creative, brand, content, better channel management across all of the different activities they have going on. In the sales organization, this is really powerful because I no longer have to go to people and say, hey, can you write me a brief? AI will do that for me. And it will do it, no offense to my team, way better than they can do it because it can pull from internal documents. It can pull things from external public company statements. It has all of this historical knowledge. It will listen to earnings calls and say, hey, the CEO said these are the top 3 company priorities, and boom, I'm ready to go in as an expert for that company and get them right to the meat of what we want to talk about and how AI can move them from pilot to production. User support, we see this a lot, agentic AI helping solve those powerful issues. And of course, then CSAT goes up, which is how we measure customer support. And then security, really important, incident tracking, making sure to prevent it from the future. So end-to-end across OpenAI, power users. Now, when it comes to how you can think about this, you're probably not going to start all of that at once. So let's talk about how to think about that. I like to think of it in 3 pillars: people, process, product. You have to empower your people. You have to redesign work. When it comes to process, this is a really important piece. Don't take the processes you're doing today and just automate it with AI, because what we're all doing today is inefficient. It's not the best way to do it. I guarantee that in most ways. So really take this moment to think about how can we redesign the work and make it more efficient, plus add agentic AI, and then completely reimagine product experiences. So let's walk through an example of each of these. BBVA is a large multinational bank out of Madrid, long-standing bank. They came to us years ago and they said, you know, we really want to get on the forefront of AI. We have 120,000 employees. Help us think about, one, how to make it approachable to our people, help them understand that they will be better at their job if they leverage it. It will help amplify human intelligence and not, it was mentioned earlier, take their jobs. Tell us how to do that, because we have people from bank tellers to wealth management to also engineering teams and finance. And so there's three ways to think about this. You have to care from top down. So I do talks with him across the world. Great CDAO at BBVA, Antonio. This is his job. His job is to care about AI and make sure it is accessible to everyone and everyone feels empowered by it. But Antonio has no idea what the other people in the organization do, of course. He's not the subject matter expert, he's the executive. So that's the important piece we far too often see missed, is you have to unleash and enable from bottoms up people to understand how they can leverage that. That's a really big investment, but the time is worth it. So as a result, BBVA, as I mentioned before, now has all 120,000 employees very powerfully using AI, often saving over 3 hours a week. They didn't roll it out all at once. They did a pilot of 1,000, moved to 11,000, measured success, changed what was needed, worked with us as their partner, and now they're what we call wall-to-wall throughout the entire organization. All right, the second one around redesigning work. This can happen, of course, in any organization, but I picked one specifically for engineering that seems to be the buzz these days. Datadog, observability platform. It's, of course, very, very important for them that people trust their code because they use Datadog's code to monitor their mission-critical systems. And so they came to us and said, we really want to figure out how we can focus our engineers on things like design and critical decision-making and not, the things they're doing today, the detection. So we walked them through the process of, all right, well, let's pick the tasks that maybe we don't want them spending as much time on anymore. The writing of code, that's an obvious one. That's where the vibe coding phase came from, but that's not enough. They don't like to write tests. They don't like to do the code reviews. That's all hard. Great, let's put a code review agent in there. Let's elevate the engineers to audit and monitor. And this was so successful that they actually got the entire engineering organization using this. They reimagined how the code review process works. And then they went back and checked. And out of the gate, just in the first implementation they did, it would have found 22% of the errors that humans missed. If you think about it, the humans are writing the code, so we're likely going to miss the errors too. Let's let agents do that, and let's go elevate ourselves in another way and produce secure software faster. All right, this one I get really excited about because you get people using AI, they're AI fluent, you've reimagined those processes, and now it's time to go end-to-end with experience. T-Mobile is a very public customer of ours, has been for several years. They came to us and they said, we have all of this really powerful customer data, and we don't want to just use it. We want to use it for customer support, of course. There's a lot of cost savings. There's a lot of things that can go into that. But also, how do we elevate the experience end-to-end, from how we target customers to how we personalize the messages to how we get them information about better plans they can pick or new phones that are coming out based on a cohort that they are. So we took it step by step, and we really designed AI native experiences across the entire spectrum, the entire customer journey. And this is really powerful because now they have this entirely new platform called Intent CX, and now 85% of their messages that go out are targeted using that powerful data that they have. And of course, they have implemented it as part of customer service. If you're a T-Mobile customer, hopefully you've noticed, because that CSAT has gone up, and they're handling 75,000 times or 75K of their tickets with this automation. Much faster, much more efficient, and you often can't tell that it's AI because it's so personalized. And the last thing I'll say here is it's really important that you lean into your partnerships with whatever AI vendor you pick. Canva, of course, I'm here today, has chosen us, and I want you to hear it from their voice.
Canva has embraced AI since its early days to democratize creativity. GPT-5 definitely represents a step change in what we're able to do. In our early experiments with GPT-5, we noticed a 44% improvement in successful completions of complex and multi-step tasks. For example, in our Magic Formulas product, we've been able to use GPT-5 to take a natural language sentence and translate that into a really complex formula that wouldn't have been accessible before. With GPT-5, we've been able to rapidly prototype some new experiences like polls and quizzes. We serve users in over 100 languages, and GPT-5 will make it easier and faster for us to build for these communities.
All right. So in closing, to move from pilot to production, people, process, product. Empower your people, really understand how to redesign that work and completely end-to-end reimagine experiences. And I guarantee you, your company too can become an AI powerhouse. Thank you.